Hello and welcome back to our channel. I'm James and welcome back Millie.
Thank you, it's good to be back.
And today we're going to be locking in our Championship Week 6 predictions. The way that the league is going so far, especially last weekend, we've got a lot to unpack. And a blind stab might actually be more successful than looking at results, form and performances at this point.
Ain't that the truth? Anyway, as always, before we start, let's have a look at how we did in last week's predictions. God help us. So James, last week you got a total of 6 correct results, giving you a total of 12 points. And I got 4 correct results and 2 correct scores, giving me a total of 18 points, making me the winner of last week.
Congratulations. I would be interested to see how other people did. Last week was mental. Anyway, shall we crack on with the week's predictions?
Let's do it.
Okay, let's start with Friday's fixture, which is Stoke City versus Hull City.
Stoke City lost 1-0 away to newly promoted Oxford United. This was the first league meeting between the two sides in well over 2 decades. Stoke did start the better of the two sides, but it ended up turning it into an entertaining end-to-end contest. Ben Wilmot was denied by a superb save from Oxford's goalkeeper, and Bae Jun Ho fizzed a ball over the bar. So there were definitely chances for Stoke to get something out of the game. Once Oxford scored 3 minutes or so after the restart, they could have easily put the game to bed. Stoke did finally get back into the game with around 15 minutes left, but lacked the all-important end product. An inconsistent start to the new season for the Potters, with 2 wins and now 3 losses after 5 games. At time of recording, Stoke are now managerless after sacking Steven Schumacher on Monday morning. Ryan Shawcross will take temporary charge. Sporting Director John Walters said, "My role as Sporting Director is to make tough decisions that serve the long-term interests of Stoke City. After ongoing discussions with John Coates, we feel the time is right for a change in direction to bring success to the club." He also mentioned, "We hope to announce a new appointment shortly, so maybe for the board, it was coming." Looking on social media though, we've seen a lot of bewildered Stoke fans. Let us know what you think in the comments, and who do you think could be a good replacement for Stoke?
Hull lost 2-0 to Sheffield United at home. That's the 5th game under their manager Tim Walters without a win. They're also yet to take the lead in a game this season in the league. It's a bit worrying for them, especially after having such a good thing with Liam Rosenior. Hull did have most of the ball against the Blades, but did nothing with it, resulting in Sheffield United counter-attacking and very effectively. Despite the result, it probably was Hull's best performance of the season so far. Hull did create some good chances, but the finishing passes needed to be better, especially against the strong Sheffield United side. Hull have only scored 2 goals this season. I'm going to go for Stoke City 2, Hull City 1. What are you going for, Mill?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go for a home win too. I'm going to go Stoke 2, Hull 0.
Now on to our first 12:30 kickoff on Saturday, which is Norwich City versus Watford.
Norwich lost 1-0 to Swansea on Saturday. A Mankwa Forson's 4th minute own goal was what separated the two sides. Both sides are still in the early season transition stages. After the goal, both sides were playing on the front foot. Josh Sargent looked the most likely to get a goal for the Canaries and almost got it straight after the goal, but a good save from the Swansea keeper kept them at bay. Norwich were the more attacking side, but Swansea were able to keep their composure and get Norwich on the break. This will be a frustrating result for Norwich, who have only won 1 game so far this season, and a tough test against Watford next.
Speaking of Watford, they drew 1-1 at Vicarage Road against Coventry City. An entertaining game overall, but probably lacked more goals. An awful start for Watford though, allowing an unmarked Ellis Sims to head the ball into the net from a corner. This is now the 3rd game in a row Watford have fallen behind after less than 4 minutes on the clock. Watford did have a chance to equalise after 10 minutes, but an unmarked effort went wide of the post. More chances were to come, but again Watford weren't clinical enough. This allowed Coventry back into the game, but Bachmann was at hand to prevent any more goals. It took until the 67th minute to get an equaliser when Deli Bashiru netted from 6 yards out after a good build-up. Probably a fair result for Watford, who have been strong this season but are experiencing a little dip. I'm going to go for Norwich 1, Watford 2. What about you?
I can't really choose out of these two, so I'm going to sit on the fence, but I think high score draw, Norwich 2, Watford 2.
The next early kickoff is Queen's Park Rangers versus Millwall.
QPR drawing 1-1 to Sheffield Wednesday on the weekend. They'll actually feel relieved to get the point out of this game after conceding in the 93rd minute to a superb Barry Bannon finish. But 3 minutes later, after a huge goalmouth scramble from a QPR corner, saw Alfie Lloyd net the equalising goal and send everyone into ruptures. This was very much an even contest with both sides having chances to nick the 3 points, but ultimately a point was a fair result. That's QPR's third draw of the season.
Millwall will be disappointed not to get something from their game against the winless in 11 Luton prior to the game. They had several chances in the game to get something, but Luton held on well to get the 3 points. Millwall's best chance came when Macaulay Langstaff was one-on-one with the keeper, but Kaminski denied him of his first Millwall goal by a fantastic save. Millwall have been playing well this season despite the results, but they have only won one game so far. This will surely be a tough test away from home against a bit of a bogey team in Queen's Park Rangers. QPR are yet to register a win at home and Millwall yet to register one away. Something's got to give surely. I think it's going to go QPR's way. I'm going to say QPR 2, Millwall 0.
Again, with that little stat at the end there, it's going to be hard to separate the two. Something may give, or you can just sit on the fence and go for a 1-1 draw. That's what I'm going for.
Now, the last of the 12:30 kickoffs takes us to the Stadium of Light, where Sunderland take on Middlesbrough. That's a huge game.
Sunderland finally losing a game this season to Plymouth Argyle. A hugely entertaining game for the neutrals. Sunderland going 1-0 up thanks to a penalty converted by Patrick Roberts, but a very unlucky own goal by Dan Ballard. Fantastic save from the keeper to tip it onto the bar, only for it to hit Ballard and make it 1-1. A defensive mix-up, which is unlike Sunderland, saw them concede a penalty to make it 2-1 Argyle, but a cool finish from Mundell levelled the game with 4 minutes to go. And then, to kill the game, a goalkeeping fumble from a fierce strike outside the box saw the rebound tucked away to give Sunderland their first taste of defeat this season.
Middlesbrough drawing 1-1 at home to Preston was probably a fair result. Borough had more chances but were not clinical enough to put the game to bed. 6 shots on and off target shows for a mixed performance. Preston scoring from their only shot on target was the difference. Borough didn't give a lot away, but the goal gave Preston North End something to hold on to and ultimately defend well to keep Borough out. This will be a frustrating result for them, but there were some good signs. Tough test against Sunderland in the Tees Weir derby. I'm going to go for a draw. I'm going to say Sunderland 2, Middlesbrough 2.
So I actually think there's going to be a winner in this game. I'm going to go for Sunderland 3, Middlesbrough 1.
Okay, so on to the 3 o'clock kickoffs now. Starting off with Bristol City versus Oxford United.
Yeah, Bristol City lost 3-0 away to an informed Blackburn side over the weekend, with mistakes contributing to their first 2 goals. No team has conceded more goals this season than the Robins. They were nowhere near the level expected of them. City's manager Liam Manning even apologised for the performance at the end of the game. They're up against a tough Oxford United next at home and will definitely want to give the fans a better performance.
Oxford, on the other hand, with a great win against Stoke City at home. A great cross from the right-hand side from Rodriguez found El Mazzini to fire home the ultimate winner of the match. It's definitely worth pointing out that all of Oxford's points have come from home, with only defeats on the road. Can they do it this time? I think they'll probably get a point out of this. I'm going to say Bristol City 1, Oxford 1.
And I think that Oxford's away form might continue, unfortunately. I'm going to go Bristol City 2, Oxford 1.
Next up, we have Burnley versus Portsmouth.
Burnley's Koleosho with the winning goal to take all 3 points back to Turf Moor in a massive game against Leeds on the weekend. After being dominated by Leeds, Burnley showed grit and determination to see the game out. This performance showed why they were one of the favourites to go up automatically this season. After a slip from Tottenham loanee Solomon for Leeds, Burnley broke away, what a run by the way, and ultimately punished them after 18 minutes. 29% possession and 7 shots in the entire match. Burnley managed the game so well, and James Trafford in between the sticks was superb to keep Leeds out. Fantastic 3 points going into the next game.
Yeah, and Portsmouth losing 3-0 to West Brom on Sunday, with no shots on target in the game. They did, however, have more possession and plenty of threat. Their best chance of an immediate riposte was through their pressing, which caught West Brom out on several occasions. The scoreline didn't really reflect the balance of the game. more so in the first half when they should have got an equaliser. As evident from the stats, they didn't put their chances away and were made to pay from a clinical West Brom side, now top of the league. And Portsmouth still without a win so far this season. I think it's going to continue. I'm going to say Burnley 3, Portsmouth 2.
Yep, I absolutely agree, but I'm going to go for Burnley 2, Portsmouth 0.
Up next, it's Cardiff City versus Leeds United.
Cardiff remained bottom of the league after losing 1-0 to Derby at Pride Park. Cardiff did have a chance to go 1-0 up from a poor back pass, only for Zetterstrom to make a crucial challenge. Another chance for Cardiff from Ruben Colwell's shot, which again was stopped by the keeper. They did have some chances in the second half to equalise, but again the keeper was there to save the day for Derby County. Cardiff were on the back foot for most of the game and need to stop leaking goals. This could well be a 6th straight loss in a row for them against a tough Leeds side.
And Leeds' unbeaten run came to an end after losing 1-0 to Burnley at Ellen Road. Tottenham loanee Solomon slipped in his own half, giving the ball away to Burnley, who broke away fast and punished them after 18 minutes. Leeds didn't lie down though and had some good chances in the game, but James Trafford denied the Yorkshire side. Statistically dominant and will be disappointed to go away empty-handed. I'm going to go for Cardiff City 1. Leeds United 3.
Yep, I agree. I think Leeds are going to get the 3 points in this game. I'm going to go Cardiff 0, Leeds 1.
Next on our list, we have Coventry City versus Swansea City.
Yeah, Coventry drawing 1-1 against Watford on the weekend. Ellis Sims with the only goal for the Sky Blues in the 4th minute. A free header after a Jack Rodoni corner gave them the lead. They did have chances to go 2-0 up but didn't take them and ultimately succumbed to Watford's advances and conceded in the 67th minute. After the goal, Coventry were up against a stronger, more determined Watford side. They did, however, have a chance to take all 3 points in the final big moment of the game after Jack Rodoni's effort was saved well by Watford's backman. A good point away from home for Coventry, I think. However, one win all season for them so far will have a lot of us scratching our heads.
Swansea beat Norwich 1-0 thanks to a Mankwa Forson's own goal in the 4th minute. This is the Swans' first league win in 3 games. Swansea showed courage against Norwich and had a few chances to extend their lead, but this could easily have gone Norwich's way too. But good defending saw them off, especially in the last 15 minutes of the game. A great 3 points for Swansea coming into the game against an iffy Coventry side, though they haven't picked up any points yet away from home. I'm going to sit on the fence here and say Coventry 1, Swansea 1.
I think there'll be a winner in this game. I think I'm going to go for Coventry 3, Swansea 2.
Up next, we have Luton Town versus Sheffield Wednesday.
Tatum Mengi's fantastic finish gave Luton the much-needed win they were after at the Den against Millwall, which ended their 11-game winless run. Luton played well and could have scored more. They did equally well to defend against an attacking Millwall side who couldn't put their chances away. It was a game that could have gone either way, but Luton came out on top and deservedly so. Can they get 2 wins on the bounce against Sheffield Wednesday, who were unlucky not to get 3 points against QPR?
Well, Sheffield Wednesday came close to snatching victory against Queen's Park Rangers with a sublime 93rd minute goal from Barry Bannon. A relatively even game with chances coming from both sides, but ultimately a huge goal mouth scramble saw QPR equalise with 96 minutes on the clock. Overall, looking at the game, I think Wednesday will be happy with a point, as it could have gone either way, but heartbreak to concede so late. They're still searching for their first point away from home. I'm going to have to go for Luton 2, Sheffield Wednesday 0.
Yeah, I agree, but I think it's going to be just a touch tighter than that. I'm going to go Luton 1, Sheffield Wednesday 0.
Next up, we have Sheffield United versus Derby County.
Sheffield United with a 2-0 victory over Hull last Friday. They're still unbeaten and are going into this game against the Derby side, who are stronger at home than away. Goals from Hamer and McCallum, 1 in each half, gave the Blades their 3rd win in 5 matches. Sheffield United managed the game very well, allowing Hull to have much of the possession, soaking up the pressure and punishing Hull on the counter-attack. Sheffield United would be second in the lead if it wasn't for their 2-point deduction.
Derby with yet another win at home, this time against bottom side Cardiff. That's 9 straight home wins for the Rams. This, however, was more hard fought. Derby having less possession but a shade more chances. They could have been 1-0 down if it wasn't for Zetterstrom again, proving to be a rock between the sticks, to deny Cardiff anything from this game. It took Derby 28 minutes to register the only goal in the game thanks to Goodman's effort from 10 yards out. Derby could have put the game to bed with a 2-0 lead, but a miss of the season contender kept it at 1-0. If you haven't seen it, have a look. Same as Oxford. All of Derby's points so far this season have come at home, with only defeat on the road. This will be a tough one for them. I think it's going to be a tight one though. But I'm going to have to go for a Sheffield United win. I'm going to say Sheffield United 1, Derby County 0.
Yep, we are in absolute agreement here. I've said the same. Sheffield United 1, Derby 0.
The last of our Saturday 3 o'clocks is West Bromwich Albion versus Plymouth Argyle.
Yep, West Brom are now top of the league thanks to their convincing 3-0 win over Portsmouth at Fratton Park on Sunday. A goal from Josh Mayer and an Alex Mowat brace gave the Baggies all 3 points. Mayer with his 5th goal this season. Only Erling Haaland has scored more in the top 4 divisions. Overall, a far more clinical side who took their chances well compared to Portsmouth who had 0 shots on target. West Brom did have to soak up some of the pressure though and did it well as Pompey pressed well. This will be a tough test against the rough and tough Plymouth side who got their first win of the season against a then unbeaten Sunderland.
Plymouth have finally won a game and against Sunderland. This was an extremely entertaining game and Argyle played very well. Sunderland were not their usual selves throughout the game, but this isn't taking anything away from Wayne Rooney's side. They showed grit and tenacity along with a bit of luck on their side and deserved the win. Plymouth are a team that I believe that many sides will not take for granted. There's certainly no whipping boys. I think this one could be a feisty one. I'm going to go for West Brom 3, Plymouth 2.
I've got to hold my hands up and say that I underestimated Plymouth this season. I did the same for Derby last week. I'm doing it for Plymouth this week.
Sorry.
No apologies. And do you know what? I actually think Plymouth are going to get something out of this game. I'm going to say West Brom 2, Plymouth 2.
Feisty. And our last fixture of the weekend in the Championship, Sunday at midday. It's Preston North End versus Blackburn Rovers.
Yeah, Preston with a 1-1 draw against Middlesbrough on the weekend. A beautiful goal that earned Preston a point at the Riverside. The game had chances few and far between and no one could find the all-important winning goal. Preston did well to soak up the Borough pressure and in all honesty had very little to give back to Borough. But I think a draw is a great result for them.
Blackburn with a 3-0 victory over Bristol City. This is Rovers' first time winning 3 home games in a row for 11 years. The outcome barely looked in doubt. They had help from Bristol City's keeper for the first goal, which saw Lewis Travis score in the 17th minute, and in-form Yuki Ahashi scoring a superb brace in the second half to seal the points for Rovers. Rovers was solid throughout the game. No team have scored more in the league so far, and this surely points to an exciting season ahead, and they still haven't lost a game yet. I think that's going to continue. I'm going to go for Preston 0, Blackburn 2.
And I'm going to go for Preston 1, Blackburn 3.
And that's our Week 6 Championship predictions locked in. Let us know your opinions. Do you agree or do you disagree with either of us? Let us know in the comments.
Before you go, please leave a like on the video, and if you haven't already, why don't you subscribe to the channel for more predictions across the EFL.
Thanks for watching. We'll be back with our League 1 predictions for the next week. Until then,
See ya.
bye.